Okay, so this is now my first working set of 4 working sets. I'm going to be going to failure on each set. I'm going to be dropping the weights as I progress through the sets. Start heavy, work down to my lighter weights, but trying to hit failure on every single set. I put my warm-up exercises on the previous video. I just thought I'd separate them out. So this is really where the workout, the shoulder workout begins, but all my warm-ups to get me to this position of doing this first working set, heavy working set, they're on the previous video uploaded. So it shows a couple of stretches that I did, band stretches, certain resistance band presses in order to activate your stabilizers, all the warm-up sets I did from light through to spitting distance of this weight that I'm going to be lifting, where I just do 3 reps or 2 reps on each one just to activate the muscle fibers, ready for me to go into this working set and go to failure. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, 29 kilos, should I say 29 kilogram dumbbells for a military press. Okay, let's see how we go. Should have done a slow eccentric after that 8th rep. Should have known I wasn't going to get another one, but 8 reps is what it is. That's failure. And now I'll drop it down to the 25 kilo dumbbells. Right, I found that hard. Did find that a hard first set. I was hoping maybe to get 9 reps, but when I was on my 7th rep, I pretty much knew it wasn't going to go up. And I'm not sure if that then convinces you that you're not going to get it, so you don't get it, or whether that was me just being in tune with what I've got in the tank at the moment. Maybe a bit of both. But yeah, what I do know, if you tell yourself you can't do something, it makes it very hard to do it. So second working set, 25 kilos. It's the aim will be to try and get 8 to 10 reps, really. If I get 8, that's fine. It's fine. The first set is really where it's all at. These now, as long as I go to failure, that'll be a good job. Second working set, dumbbell military press. 25 kilo dumbbells, target 8 to 10 reps to failure. Slow eccentric. Oh. Right, so that's good. 12 reps with a reasonably slow eccentric at the end of that 12th rep. Yeah, that's good, happy with that. Because on that weight, I wouldn't have done 12 reps if I was doing my workout in the reverse order. That would have been my third set, and I would have just stopped at 10 reps, so I wouldn't have gone to failure. So now, we've got 2 sets where I've gone to failure on both sets. Now, I did get a few more than I thought on that. And to tell you the truth, we can adapt what we're going to do as we go, dependent on what our results are. I may well stick with that weight again for the third set. And obviously I don't think I'll get 12 reps on it, especially the fact that I did a slow eccentric. That takes even more out of the tank. But the target for my third set is to try and get around 10 reps. So there's no point in me dropping the weight a lot and then finding that I'm not failing until 15 reps. I still want to try and find a weight where I'll fail around 10 reps, and I'm hoping that if I use that same weight again, that might be the case. So we'll give that a go. We'll do the 25s again for the third set. Okay, set 3. And I'm picking to do the same weight. I'm choosing to do the same weight. Okay, set 3 coming up. I'm going to do the same weight as I did for the second set, so the 25 kilo dumbbells, aiming to fail around 10 reps. Got 12 on the last set, so I'm assuming I'm a bit more fatigued now, and that 10 hopefully is relatively realistic, but again, we'll go to failure. I don't think I would have got the 11th rep had I gone for it. I think I might have got stuck about there. So I just made a decision that I'll do a slow eccentric on the 10th rep. And once I've done that, I definitely know I'm not getting the 11th up. So, but yeah, it's good reps. So definitely getting more weight lifted starting heavy and working back like this, because I wouldn't have done 2 sets. I wouldn't have done my second and third sets on the 25 kilos. I would have done my second set on the 20 kilos, my third set on the 25s, and then gone on my fourth set up to my heavy set of 29s. Whereas this way I've gone 29s, dropped it down to 25, next set kept it at 25, and now I will drop it down because I want to try and get around 12 reps on the final set. So I'm going to drop it to the 22s and see how we go. Okay, this is my 4th working set now. I'm going to be using the 22 kilo dumbbells, aiming for 12 reps. But ultimately just going to failure. And whenever I feel like there's not another full rep in the tank, I'll just try and do a slow eccentric on the way down, nice and controlled. If you've got a training partner that you're working with, you can apply the same principles, but with a training partner, once you get to that failure on concentric as you're going up, and you can't push another one up, slow on the way down, nice and controlled. Get your training partner to assist you back to the top and instantly just try and control it down as slow as possible. Get your training partner to lift to the top and instantly try and control it down. When you cannot control it for more than, or for at least 2 seconds, when you cannot control it for at least 2 seconds on the negative, on the eccentric portion, that's failure. That is true failure. So That's the only way I feel I could really improve these sets, get more out of them, if I had a training partner to assist me back to the top of the movement. On this exercise, it's not like I can cheat the weights to the top. With a barbell curl, you can use a bit of momentum. You can cheat the weight up here in order to then work the negative portion, and then cheat it up with a bit of hip drive, much like you would if you were doing a kettlebell swing using your hips. You can hip drive and get that weight here and then try and control it down. It's called a barbell cheat curl. There's nothing wrong with it. That's how you essentially deplete the eccentric part of the movement, which is the strongest movement. And once you've done that, then you are really a true failure. So cheat reps are not a bad thing, but some movements you can't cheat it up. You can't really safely cheat a deadlift up. You can't cheat a press up, like a bench press or anything like that, whether it's barbell, whether it's like, you can't really cheat it up. You need someone to assist. So yeah, if you've got that option, utilize it. You'll get much bigger gains, strength gains, aesthetic changes. You'll get it all. Right, final set. Set 4, 22 kilo dumbbells, aim 12 reps, or whatever it takes to go to failure. Decent 13 reps with a slow eccentric, so that was good on the 22s. So those 4 sets were 8 reps on the 29s, 12 reps on the 25s with a slow eccentric, 10 reps on the 25s with a slow final eccentric rep, and 13 reps on the 22s with a slow eccentric on the final rep. So a stark difference to how I was doing it last week, which was starting light, and I was doing the 15 kilos for 12 reps, the 20 kilos for 10 reps, the 25 kilos for 8 reps, and then aiming to max out 6 reps on the 29s, but I actually got 8 reps. But if you look at it, I went heavier on the sets across the board, and I got more reps on all of them, so I'm definitely going to be taxing the shoulders a lot more doing it this way. It's a good way of doing it. Start heavy, go back, but make sure you see the warm-up video beforehand. There's no injuries. I feel good, ready to get into the next exercise. But what I want to do now is just one superset or one finisher with the band. Just finish those sets off with another set of 15 presses, like band presses, with the pause at the top. Right now I'm basically, for the next exercise, I'm going to do a triple set where it'll be, where I'm bending notice the bands. So I'll be doing a rear delt stretch movement, 7 to 10 reps. I'll then get a lighter band and I'll be doing mid delt, letting that band stretch me back past the midway up to about shoulder height, and then I'll be going into a front delt movement. Again, having the band pull me back behind my body so I'm under full stretch and going up to shoulder height. Now I'll always, you see a lot of bodybuilder type tutorials where they're telling you, you know, pour the cup as you move up. I think it's the worst advice for good biomechanics and shoulder integrity. You know, I think if you want to avoid injuries, do not pour the cup. Hold the cup up so you're not going to spill anything. Because that is internal rotation on your shoulder. So why do you want to internally rotate your shoulder? Put it into the weakest position and then start loading it up at the top of the movement here with hardly any support on the shoulder. You want to screw that shoulder into place so it's supported by the socket, by the muscles, ligaments, the tendons, everything, but really by the shoulder joint. That's what you want. But if you go here, you've basically given it hardly any stability from the shoulder joint, and now all it's asking to secure it in place are like ligaments, tendons, muscle fibers. It's not what you want. It's asking for trouble. It really is. You're asking for an injury. So create external rotation, thumbs up. So you're up here. You can still have this portion of your arm can still come out to the side. Just keep your hand thumb up as you're doing it. Don't be here with palms facing away and thumbs facing down. That, again, I can't stress enough for stability of the shoulder. And just, it's about longevity in life. We want to get through life without too many injuries, so let's not exercise in unnatural positions and weak positions. So be sensible. Right, so 7, 7, 7 is a typical goal, but I'm probably going to start off doing about maybe 10 reps on the rear. It depends how I feel, but I might do 10 reps for the rear delt and then 7 for the mid, 7 for the front. It's going to be 3 sets on this. And apologies for the position, I may be a bit close to the camera. I may stand over on this one. If you're doing these sort of movements at home, you do want to make sure you've got a very strong fixed anchor point that's not going to break. Because some of these bands, you can put quite a lot of tension through them, so you know, if you just screwed like a hook into a piece of plasterboard and then you wrap these bands around it and then start stretching it out, whatever you've screwed in is just going to come popping out of the wall and probably smack you in an area of your body and hurt you. Safety first. You want really strong fixed anchor points. You know, these bands are not going to pull this over, especially when I've got some of the weights on there as well. Right, set 1. We don't really have breaks between these sets, we just go from one to the other, switch sides, and then just work through all 3 sets. I'm going to start with the right arm. Try to square the shoulders off, squeeze the glutes, take a deep breath in, core tight, glutes tight, hip hinge, and let that band stretch your hand out across your body and drive that elbow back as far as you can. Hold at the top. Right, straight on to set 2. But each side is getting a rest as the other side is working, so don't need to really pause. I'm going to step out a bit further on this one, get more of a stretch on the band, a bit more resistance. I'm going to use both bands for this final set. A bit more resistance for the rear. That definitely adds a decent increase to the resistance on that. That's those 3 sets done. All right. What we're going to do now is, it's a superset, so we're going to do dumbbell cheat lateral raises. As I say, some exercises it's alright to do a bit of a cheat on them. I'll try not to cheat on every rep, but when it gets towards the end, I'm going to cheat in the sense of if I can't raise it up on my own, and I've lost that strength, then I will probably hip hinge and drive myself up and try and control the eccentric. So then hip drive to get that momentum to bring you to the top of the movement, and then just control it down. As soon as I can't control it for more than 2 seconds, I'm done. And then I'll take that very same weight and I'll sit down here and I'll just try and press out the same amount of reps pretty much as I've just done on the lateral raises. This is going to be an ugly part of the exercise. It is ugly. I'm not looking for perfect technique here. Obviously I don't want you to injure yourself, but really I'm just trying to pump up around the shoulders and the traps. Really, it does that quite a lot, and I am literally just grinding it out because I'll be pretty exhausted, it's got to be said. So we're nearing the end. We're going to do 3 sets of cheat lateral raises into push presses, alternate to the other side, do the same, and then drop the weight, do another set each side, and drop the weight again probably, and do another set each side. It all depends how many reps I'm getting. I don't want to be here all day. I'm sure you don't either. Right. Yeah, those push presses, they are meant to be just quick pumping sort of movement. I'll tell you what, it's pretty exhausting. Right, I'm going to drop the weight. The previous weight, the one I just did, that was the 14 kilo dumbbell, 1-4. This is the 11 kilo dumbbell. Right, I'm going to stick to the same weight again. Honestly, it doesn't really matter how many reps you get, just as long as when you stop, you're unable to control the eccentric for at least 2 seconds. And then whatever reps I've got up to, I do count them. It's just out of habit more than anything else. But I don't care what the number is. But whatever that number is, that's the number of push presses I try and push out. Right, final set. that's those supersets done. And the final sets, I'm going to do 3 sets of banded face pulls. So the bands and squeezing them back, driving the elbows back as much as possible. Aiming for 3 sets of 15 reps, and then this shoulder routine is done. As you can tell, I'm struggling now. It's been a good workout, but I am struggling. Right, let's get the banded face pulls set up. Man, I am feeling pumped. Right, final exercise. You want to try and do this as if you were doing 15 sets of 1 rep, rather than 1 set of 15 reps. Try and have that mentality of 15 sets of 1. Whew. 2 more sets to go. Nearly there. Nearly there. Right, final set. Oh, definitely feeling it. Well, that is it. That is shoulders done for the week. Well and truly done. That's definitely a good workout. Yeah, definitely a good workout. Gonna be tough to get this compression top off there.